South Africa continues to grapple with the challenge of improving learner outcomes. This is in mathematics and science. Now, despite efforts from government and parents, many students struggle to achieve good grades in these critical subjects. Now, some even opt out of taking them altogether. This is to avoid disappointment. So to delve into the root causes of this issue and explore potential solutions, we're now joined by two esteemed educators on the program. Xolile Sibisi is a renowned multi-award winner physical science teacher from Curro Academy, who's nominated, by the way, for a Global Teacher Award in Dubai, and Dr. Khangelani Sibiya, whom we're hoping is going to join us on the line, who's a maths guru and founder of Maths and Science Tutoring Academy, who's also nominated for 2 categories in the upcoming awards in Dubai. And he will be joining us in just a moment from now. But we'll start right now with you, Mrs. Sibisi. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the program. Wow, I've got a science brain right next to me. Let's talk about, some of the significant challenges that our learners in the classroom continue to grapple with on the day-to-day, particularly when we look at such a critical subject as physical science.
Okay, thank you very much, Xolile. Many people assume that physical sciences is a difficult subject, of which is not true. So normally learners experience problems when it comes to physics, they experience difficulties. But I normally conduct extra classes. I spend more time with my learners. I conduct extra classes with my learners, Saturday classes, the cross nights, the cross days during the weekends, and also during school holidays. Because I believe that we need to expose learners to assessment. Every time after teaching them maybe per topic, and then we write the topic test, because the moment they are exposed to assessment, they do well in physical sciences. That's how I do it.
And just when do you know that this child is fit to do the subject? Because I know most learners, I know by myself, I was able to figure out whether I would be able to, make it through physical science. This was when I knew what I wanted to do after school, and if I was going to be, a fit for the purpose when it comes to maths and science. When is it time to tell a learner that, it's fine to pursue the subject, and to also know when the point comes where the learner's just not doing well there and something needs to be done about it?
Unfortunately, in South Africa, our learners, they choose streams for themselves. They're allowed to choose, so we have different learners. So as soon as they come in grade 10, I make it a point that they start by maybe writing a test, maybe after each topic, right? So after that, I then group my learners according to their capabilities so that I can take care of those learners that are weak. But I no longer believe that we have weak learners, because once you spend more time with your learners, then they excel. Let me talk about my last year's results. I'm working with different learners of different capabilities, right? So once I see that this learner is struggling, I just pop in and do extra classes. You will be surprised that since we have different learners in class, last year I got 100% and there was no level 2, no level 3, and there was only one learner who got level 1. The rest is from level 5 up to level 7.
Sure, that's quite impressive, which explains exactly why you're nominated for a Global Teacher Award, and this will be happening in Dubai.
Yeah.
What does this nomination mean for you, and how are you going to use this nomination to continue doing the great job that you're doing in our classrooms?
Okay, I'm excited, and it's not the first time. I started attending these awards in 2022, and fortunate enough, I won the award in 2022, 2023. So this is for the 3rd time now. And
I'm sure you're bringing it home, right?
Yes, I'm bringing it home.
All right.
I'm already an awardee, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm no longer working with my learners from my school now. I'm working with different learners from different schools. Hence, I have a program called Mathematics and Sciences Academy, which I normally conduct extra classes in Soweto at Aurora High School. As I'm speaking to you, we already have a class, and I'm grooming new educators, to also be good in physical sciences.
And some may also see this subject as a no-go area. What are some of the common misconceptions when it comes to physical science?
Physics is very easy, but the misconceptions is the learners, they see it as difficult subject. So I make it easy for my learners. They normally sing the definitions, the laws, and everything else. So it makes it easy. But the key point is to make sure that you spend time with your learners as much as possible.
And I'm sure also in the line of duty, there are countless challenges that you encounter on the day-to-day. Just how do we as members of society, how do parents also make things a bit easy for you as the teacher in the classroom?
I think it's very important for our parents to be involved in their children education. So I think parents must support our learners because we have many programs that are available, and now our learners are exposed to internet. I think parents must support their children so that it's possible for them to reach our classes as well, so that they can get more information.
And the thing is now is that this is a subject that can be thought to be resource intense. That would mean that a student must be, armed with the relevant equipment to ensure that they excel in this particular learning area. In a time where we're grappling with some learners from disadvantaged backgrounds, what would you say to them right now? And what would you say to some of the parents? Because many of them will actually tell you that physical science is quite resource intense. And if you're going to need a stable and proper internet connection, some of these children might be left behind.
Now that we are using internet in most cases, some of the schools, they don't have the laboratory to perform the practicals, but it is very easier now because we have an access to internet. So I can say that learners can perform practicals, can check practicals on the internet, and educators must spend more time with their learners, and parents must come on board as well to support us as educators, because at some point we normally struggle with the issue of discipline, but then if parents are also involved, it will be much easier for our kids to do well in physics.
And Dr. Khangelani Sibiya is also joining us now on the line. Dr. Sibiya, thank you so much for joining us. We're just unpacking and having a discussion here with Ms. Sibiya around, physical science. Let's hear from you as well. I'm keen on finding out on some of the strategies that you are using in the classroom, particularly when we look at mathematics.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Baba. Well, what I can say is that as Mrs. Kabinde indicated, that we still have a stigma together with physical science on the side of maths to say we still have people who are saying mathematics is a difficult subject. As you indicated, that this subject, we call it a no-go area. But then what we normally do, like myself as a teacher, because I'm basically a founder now of KWV Maths and Science Tutoring, which is assisting all students around the world, mostly in KZN. So what we normally do, we change the way in which we teach this subject, because the stigma comes because of the teaching method that our teachers were using at that particular time, or even now. The other teachers, they are not even making sure that when they teach this subject, they make it to be more conducive, more funny, to accommodate all learners. In other words, when we teach this maths, we have to make sure that we make our teaching to be more funny, so as the kids will enjoy the subject. For example, what we do, we normally relate it to soccer. Let's make an example. Yesterday, there was a derby there, and what we normally do when we look at the soccer, for example, if we take the sign of Kaizer Chiefs, we can see maths there. And when we take the sign of Orlando Pirates, there is maths that is also there. So we try to relate our teaching with what is happening, and with the real life situation that they normally see. And as Mrs. indicated, that we also, even on this side, we also include music, because we know that our kids love music. So when we teach, then there are steps that they have to follow. Then we have to sing all those steps in order to make sure that they enjoy mathematics. So in fact, for one to understand maths, it depends on the way in which one is being taught. So in fact, it's more about the approach.
approach indeed. And Dr. Sibiya, you're making a very good point there that you're trying to make it as relatable and as fun as possible for everyone involved. And I get a sense that, this could be resource intense, having to get the device to play the music, for instance, or to also bring in some of the other elements that make learning in the classroom fun. It can be quite resource intense. And as a question that I also posed to Ms. Sibisi here in studio, we were speaking about some of the students that are from disadvantaged backgrounds. What would your greatest plea be to all the stakeholders that are involved to ensure that we make sure that we support these learners in the classroom, particularly when we look at trying to make the subject fun and appealing to the children in the classroom?
What I can say on that, because first thing that I want to indicate as a KWV, we have an upgrading center here where we assist students with improving their results as we speak. Because you remember when the results were announced, we were talking of increase in percentage. But when you go deep into the result, you check the statements, you can even indicate or find that the child got bachelor. But when you look at the levels, you can see that the child cannot go to the university. So what we normally say to parents is that they have to support their children as early as now, because when most of the time they simply look at the result at the end stage, of which that is a disaster now, because the child has to go back to grade 11 or to come to ourselves for upgrading. So what I can say simply is to say, I can encourage parents to bring these kids to our programs, because what we normally find out is that most of our learners, they understand the external educator, hence taking music to bring it to class as well, that can make our learners understand very well. So my point is that if parents can start making a point that they support their children as early as now, as I indicated that we deal with upgrading. But on top of that, we have extra classes, afternoon classes, cross nights. We also have boot camps whereby we hire the school, and then learners coming from different provinces, they come together, and then we teach them. We practice of this method of saying we have to take music and bring it there. But what parents they have to do is to bring these kids to these classes, because even the departments talk of what we call networking. So when we talk about networking, that is when we meet together, we call different teachers to come and simplify this maths, to come and simplify all of this subject. Because you may find out even the teacher, we can teach one concept, but the way in which I'm presenting it will make it to be easier for the child to understand. So that's why we're saying parents, they must make sure that they bring these kids to our classes. And not only on our classes, we have WhatsApp whereby we assist them with different papers. We have YouTube channels. So there are so many channels that the parents can use in order to support their children, in order to make sure that they perform.
And we are actually out of time, but just a quick one from you, Ms. Sibisi, to find out how accessible are such programs to these learners. Are they accessible?
Yes, they are accessible. I'm available on WhatsApp, on WhatsApp, and I can even leave my phone numbers. But we are currently working at Aurora in Soweto, around Jabulani, at Zola.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Okay, and of course we'll put up your contacts a bit later on in the program, because it's one thing for us to say there's this program that is available, and it's another to make sure that it trickles down to the ground where it matters the most. But I must thank you so much for your time. And of course that was mathematics and physical science educators, Dr. Khangelani Sibiya, as well as Ms. Xolile Sibisi, joining us right here on the program. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.